Ever wondered how to make delicious homemade soups? Your curiosity is about to be satisfied. The mystery that has long surrounded the art of soup making is finally going to be unraveled. We're launching into a journey, a culinary adventure, if you will, that will take us into the heart of a world filled with flavors, spices, and wholesome goodness. Let me tell you, there's a secret universe behind every soup bowl, a story that's been simmering along with the ingredients inside the pot. The magic, as you will soon see, is in the balance of flavors, the combination of ingredients and the love and patience poured into every step of the process. It's not just about throwing together vegetables and water. It's about creating a harmony of taste, a symphony of flavors that dances on the palate and warms the soul. Today, in our quest for culinary enlightenment, we're going to delve into the secrets of 5 spectacular soups. Each of these soups holds a unique story, a tale of origins and evolutions of culture and tradition. These are not just any soups, they are soups that have stood the test of time. Soups that have been passed down through generations. Soups that have nourished and comforted countless souls around the world. We're not only going to reveal their recipes, but we will also explore their unique flavor profiles. From the hearty, robust taste of a classic chicken soup to the spicy, exotic tang of a Thai tom yum, each soup has its own distinct character. They're like characters in a story with their own backstories, their own strengths, and their own secrets. But remember, creating these soups is a journey and not a race. So take your time, enjoy the process, and learn to savor the flavors. Today, we're going on a culinary journey to unlock the secrets of 5 tantalizing soups, each with its own unique story and flavor profile. First on our list is the classic chicken noodle soup. Now let's embark on a delightful culinary journey. Picture yourself in your kitchen, surrounded by the freshest of ingredients. On your chopping board, you have beautiful, crunchy celery stalks, vibrant, juicy carrots, aromatic onions, the holy trinity of soup making. Hold them, feel their texture, appreciate their colors. Pick up your knife and start slicing these gifts of nature. Hear the crunch of the celery, the soft sigh of the onion, the slight resistance of the carrot. Chop them into small, even pieces, ensuring a harmonious blend of flavors in your soup. Next, reach for your bottle of olive oil. This liquid gold is not just a cooking medium, but a flavor enhancer. It's going to add a subtle richness to your soup. A generous amount into your pot, watch it shimmer under the heat. Now tip in your chopped vegetables. Hear them sizzle, see them glisten, smell their aroma as they begin to cook. Stir them around, watch as they soften, their colors deepening, their smell wafting around the kitchen, enveloping you in a heartwarming embrace. Now it's time to introduce our star ingredient, the chicken. Dice it into bite-sized pieces, ensuring a perfect balance of chunkiness and tenderness. Add it to the pot, watch as it changes from a soft pink to a deliciously appetizing white. Listen to it sizzle, joining in the symphony of smells and sounds in your kitchen. Next, pour your chicken stock, homemade or store-bought. Doesn't matter as long as it's high quality. See it slowly engulf the chicken and vegetables, turning from a clear, light liquid to a more robust, hearty broth. Bring this pot of love and warmth to a boil and then introduce your egg. Watch them float around before slowly sinking, absorbing the flavorful liquid, becoming soft and succulent. Let it all simmer, the flavors mingling and marrying until the noodles are perfectly cooked. And voila, you've made a comforting bowl of chicken noodle soup. Next up, we have the robustly flavorful, hearty beef barley soup. This soup is a comforting blend of tender beef chunks, crisp vegetables, and satiating barley. The process begins with the browning of succulent beef chunks in a pot. This not only cooks the beef, also releases the flavors and juices that will later infuse the soup with a depth of richness. The technique is simple. Heat a bit of oil in your best soup pot, add the beef chunks, and cook until they achieve a beautiful crust. The browning process exudes an irresistible aroma that fills your kitchen. It's the kind of scent that sparks anticipation for the delicious meal to come. Once the beef is well browned, the next step is to add a vibrant melange of vegetables. In go the onions, an essential flavor base for any soup, turning translucent as they sizzle and sweat delicately. Then you'll add your carrots, a burst of color and natural sweetness, and celery, which brings a fantastic crunch and freshness to the mix. Cook these until they're softened and fully absorb the flavors of the beef. Next, we pour in the beef broth. It's the canvas onto which all other flavors are painted. This is followed by a can of diced, its acidity and freshness complementing the savory meat and vegetables perfectly. Into the pot, the barley is introduced. The barley is the backbone of this soup, adding a wonderfully chewy texture and nutty flavor that will keep you coming back for more. Now, we let the magic happen. The soup simmers gently for about an hour. During this time, the barley becomes tender, absorbing the rich broth and the flavors meld together. The heat transforms the individual ingredients into a harmonious whole, intensifying their flavors, and they become more than just beef, vegetables, and barley. They become hearty beef barley soup. And there you have it. A bowl of this soup is like a warm hug on a cold day. It's not just a dish, it's a comforting culinary experience that warms your soul and satisfies your hunger. Third, we're going to the coast with a classic clam chowder. This dish, originating from the coastal areas of New England, is a staple for seafood lovers worldwide. And today we're going to show you how to replicate the creamy, flavorful goodness of this beloved soup right in your own kitchen. The first step is sautéing chopped onions and celery. To gently cook these until they are soft and translucent, releasing a mouth-watering aroma that will fill your kitchen, signaling the start of a delicious meal in the making. The key here is to ensure that the onions and celery are finely chopped to ensure they blend seamlessly into the chowder, allowing their flavors to infuse without overpowering the star of the show, the clams. The next addition to the pot is a crucial one: diced potatoes. It's significant to dice them just right, not too large to swallow comfortably, not too small to dissolve into the soup. These potatoes will provide a heartiness to the chowder that's simply irreplaceable. Once the potatoes are in, it's time for the bottled clam juice. This step is where the sea comes to meet the land, where the briny essence of the clams begin to permeate the soup, setting the stage for the rich and creamy symphony that the chowder is known for. As the potatoes simmer and soften in the clam juice, their starches slowly release into the broth, thickening it just enough to give the chowder its signature consistency. It's a slow process, one that requires patience, but trust us, the wait is worth it. Now comes the piece de resistance: canned clams. The clams are added towards the end to ensure they remain tender and succulent and not overcooked. Stir them in gently so as not to break them up too much. Finally, it's time for a generous pour of heavy cream. This will transform the soup into a lusciously creamy masterpiece, one that will have your taste buds dancing in delight. Season with salt and pepper, and you've got yourself a rich, creamy clam chowder that rivals any seaside restaurant. Our fourth soup is a spicy delight, the chicken tortilla soup. This Mexican-originated delicacy is not just an ordinary soup, but a unique mixture of ingredients that stands out due to its rich, flavorful, and spicy nature. First, you begin with a crucial part of the process: sautéing. This technique involves cooking food quickly in a minimal amount of fat. Here, the perfect blend onion, garlic, and jalapeno are sautéed. This combination creates an aromatic base for the soup, giving off a tantalizing scent that sets the stage for what's to come. Next, we introduce the star of the show, the chicken. Diced to perfection, the chicken is added into the pot. The process of cooking it until it's no longer pink is crucial, as it not only ensures that the chicken is cooked thoroughly, but also enhances the flavor by allowing it to mingle with the aromatic base created earlier. The protein from the chicken adds a hearty substance to the soup, making it more than just a light starter. The next phase involves integrating the chicken broth into the mix. The broth's role is not only to provide the liquid medium in which the other ingredients can meld together, but also to infuse an extra layer of chicken flavor into the soup. The diced tomatoes and corn are added next, contributing to a beautiful blend of textures and flavors. The soup to simmer is a key step. It allows time for the flavors to develop and become more robust, taking the soup from just a simple dish to a sensory experience. As the soup simmers, the tortilla strips are added. These strips not only offer a unique twist in texture, but also that authentic Mexican touch to the soup. Finally, the finishing touches are added: a squeeze of fresh lime juice and a sprinkling of cilantro. These final ingredients add a tantalizing, zesty kick to the soup, providing a final flavor punch that makes our chicken tortilla soup truly unforgettable. Finish it off with lime juice and cilantro for a zesty kick. Last but not least, for our vegetarian friends, we present an exquisite tomato basil soup, a culinary delight that not only pleases the taste buds, but is also a joy to prepare. You begin with the crucial first step of sautéing. Choosing only the freshest onions and pungent garlic, you effortlessly toss them into a pan with glistening olive oil. As they sizzle and pop, their unique, invigorating aroma fills the kitchen, enticing the senses and promising a flavorful culinary experience. As they soften, their golden hues deepening, you prepare the next key ingredient. Pulling out rich, ripe canned tomatoes, you appreciatively acknowledge their luscious red color and the robust flavor they impart. With great care, you add them to the pan, the amalgamation of flavors intensifying as the tomatoes meet onions and garlic. Next, you pour in the vegetable broth, a staple of vegetarian cooking which further enhances the flavors in the pan. The broth's savory notes merge with the distinct sweetness of the tomatoes and the sharp flavor of garlic and onions, creating an ambrosial melody of taste that tantalizes the palate. You then reach for of fresh basil leaves, the vibrant green contrasting starkly with the simmering red soup. The basil's unique aromatic scent wafts up, its tantalizing aroma hinting at the burst of flavor it will bring. You add it to the soup, allowing it to simmer, watching as the flavors meld together, each ingredient contributing to a symphony of taste. Once the soup has simmered to perfection, you then turn to the final step, blending. As the blender whirs into action, the soup transforms from a chunky mixture into a smooth, homogeneous liquid. It's almost like watching a beautiful painting in motion. To finish, you finally swirl in a dollop of cream. The cream adds a rich, velvety texture, making the soup even more luxurious. Top it off with a swirl of cream, and you have a velvety tomato basil soup perfect for any day. In conclusion, making homemade soup isn't as daunting as it may seem. On the contrary, it's an exciting adventure that is just as rewarding as it is comforting. It is a culinary task that requires not just skill, but also a good bit of patience, creativity, and above all, a whole lot of love. You see, there is something uniquely special about creating a pot of soup from scratch. It's the joy of transforming simple, wholesome ingredients into a heartwarming dish that nourishes both the body and the soul. It's the satisfaction that comes from knowing every single ingredient that goes into your pot, and the control you have over the flavors and textures. Soup is versatile and universally loved. There are countless varieties of soup to explore, from hearty meaty brews to light and refreshing vegetarian options. Every culture has its own versions, and every family has its favorite recipes. Whether you're a devout carnivore or a proud vegetarian, there's a soup out there just waiting to be discovered by you and to warm your heart and soul. Embrace the process, enjoy the journey, and take pride in your creation. With every chop of the knife, with every stir of the spoon, you're not just making soup, you're creating memories, building traditions, and sharing love. It's a therapeutic process that is just as enriching for the cook as it is for who eat. So, why not roll up your sleeves and dive into the world of homemade soups? Try out different recipes, experiment with your own, and find the ones that speak to your palate. Unleash your creativity, use the freshest of ingredients, and let your kitchen fill with the enticing aromas of simmering soups. Don't rush it, patience is key. Allow the ingredients to gently marry each other in the pot. Let the flavors develop and deepen. After all, as they say, good things come to those who simmer.